morning, Abby, it's Friday, and because I have no better idea for an intro, let's just jump right into the Legend of Zelda Manga Volume 2, Ocarina of Time, Part 2. So, I can't help but notice that, once again, they could have drawn an actual picture for Link to be behind, but nope, it's just like, what even is that, a wheat field? Yeah, they just took a blurry picture of a wheat field and just put Link's face in front of it. But, improvement, I can actually look at this picture of Zelda without my eyes being on fire. Thank you, Nintendo. So at the beginning, non-relevant things are happening that I'm not going to talk about, and then Sheik shows up again to tell Link, hey, Princess Zelda is in the Haunted Wasteland. You should go there. How? Sheik knows this. The world may never know. Well, actually, I know, because I finished the book, but you haven't. On the way to the Haunted Wasteland, Link decides to go visit the Zora people, and it's a good thing he did, because the Zora were in trouble, and it also turns out that the Zora princess, Princess Ruto, happens to be one of the Sages of Time. So, convenience. So on the way to the Haunted Wasteland, Link runs into these people called the Twin Rova, and they're evil witches who are working for Ganondorf, although Link doesn't know they're evil. But then Sheik shows up, and the Twin Rova are suspicious of Sheik because they think that he's actually trying to double-cross Ganondorf. So they send this girl, where is my hand? Her. They send her name is Nabooru, to go after Sheik and make sure that he's not trying to double-cross Ganondorf. The Twin Rova also summon up this gigantic sandstorm to impede Link's progress, and he is literally almost buried alive in sand, except he is rescued by, wait for it, Sheik! So Sheik's a good guy now. Right? I swear, with Sheik, sometimes it's like, he's like Severus Snape, man, because, like, you just never know where his loyalties lie. Well, the next day, Ganondorf's minions ambush Link and Sheik from, like, all sides, and then Sheik just, like, knocks Link in the back of the head and knocks him unconscious. So, apparently Sheik's a bad guy now. Don't listen to me. I'm stupid. I can't analyze characters and figure out whether they are on the side of the protagonist or not. Link is taken to one of Ganondorf's fortresses and is held prisoner there, but he quickly breaks out of the cell and runs away, and then he runs into Sheik! Great, I wanted to see that guy again, so I could tell him that he shouldn't play with Link's emotions like that! Link just stands out there in the open with no armor or a sword to defend himself or anything, just waiting for Sheik to, like, knock him in the back of the head again. And then Sheik attacks all the other people around him and runs away with Link to safety? What? So that would make Sheik a good guy. Which means that you should have listened to me. How dare you doubt my ability to look at a scene in a manga and interpret which characters are working to help the protagonist? Now, the Twin Rova are a tad bit salty about this, so they zap Sheik with some sort of, like, magic lightning bolt or whatever, and it just knocks him unconscious, and he's, like, laying on the ground, so now Link has to get him out of there. But now Link can see that Sheik has the symbol of the Triforce on his hand, and that's a symbol of the Hyrulean royal family, so there's a chance that Sheik says he's from the Sheikah tribe, but maybe he's actually from Hyrule. Wait, what? So, you're telling me that there is, like, a symbol that appears on one's hand that tells you when they are from Hyrule, and yet Link could not figure out that the girl that he met in the marketplace or whatever a while back was Zelda, when she very obviously should have had a Triforce on her hand if we are following this manga's logic. Plus, apparently Link's family is, like, distantly connected to the Hyrule royal family, but, like, not in a way that would make it incesty if they were to hook up, but he is still part of the Hyrule royal family. So shouldn't Link have a Triforce on his hand? This is made worse by the fact that in a different volume of this manga, in a different reincarnation of Link, he does have the Triforce on his hand. And it's the same deal. He's, like, descended from knights who have been serving Hyrule for centuries or whatever. So why does this Link not have the Triforce on his hand right now? But then it turns out that Nabooru was actually a good person now. She was just possessed by the Twin Rova, because possessing people is kind of their thing. So now Link has time to get Sheik away and treat his wounds and all that. But when Sheik wakes up, his face mask begins to fall down, and just as Link begins to wonder, hey, isn't his face somewhat familiar? All of a sudden the Triforce on his hand starts glowing with a bunch of magical light, and it turns out that this whole time, Sheik has actually been Princess Zelda in disguise. Now, I knew about Sheik and Zelda being the same person before I read this manga because I've played Super Smash Bros., but I still think it's a really cool plot twist. And plus, Princess Zelda is typically a damsel in distress character in the Legend of Zelda games, so it's super cool to see her just be like, you know, screw that archetype, I'm gonna become a goddamn ninja. It is cool. Sheik for the win. I am in support of Sheik. Sheik is 10 out of 10. Would Sheik again. Anyway, Link and Zelda get ambushed by the Twin Rova, and Zelda informs Link that he happened to walk into the one abandoned castle that happened to have a magical shield that reflects all enemy attacks, so I guess Link is just really good at choosing his abandoned castles or something. Unfortunately, Link can't find it, so he almost gets killed by the Twin Rova, but then Nabooru shows up and she's like, hey bro, I got your shield, and then they just kill the Twin Rova, and it's like, okay, the Burrow's just here. She happens to have shield. This is just a thing. So Link and Zelda are having this really cute, adorable moment, and I love it. But then all of a sudden, Ganondorf just like teleports in. What the crud? And then he like kidnaps Zelda in Crystal, and he tells Link that he needs to come to Hyrule Castle. But question: if Ganondorf can just teleport in and kidnap Princess Zelda, you'd think that he'd be able to teleport in and just kill Link. But no, he's just like, no, I'm just kidnap Zelda, take her to my castle. No, bruh, you are like the only even semi-competent person in your army, and even you aren't that competent. You have Link right in front of you. Just kill him. Just kill him, please. Put us all out of our misery. Start the reign of Ganondorf or whatever. But he doesn't. But Ganondorf doesn't do it because he's incompetent. I feel like I've had this rant before. So then it turns out that Nabooru is one of the 6 sages, because, you know, of course she is. There can't be a single supporting character in the series without them being one of the sages. But then, like, they have this group shot of all the sages. But I'm sorry, when was it established that Impa and the Goron dude were sages? Am I just stupid? Probably, because, like, the first time I remember reading through this, I don't remember being confused. So it's probably just me being stupid as I reread it for this video, but I don't know where those people came from, but they're here now. They're sages. Deal with it. So then Link goes to Ganondorf's castle to find Zelda, and oh look! Now, all 3 of them have glowing hands, even though that was supposed to be, like, specifically a Hyrule thing, and Ganondorf's from, like, the Black Desert, or whatever the heck. But, back to Link's hand glowing. Oh, now that I'm not complaining about it, you're just gonna go ahead and do it. Now that I'm not pointing out the flaws in your logic, you're just gonna do the thing. The glowing hand mechanic makes no sense. That's what I'm trying to get across here. I know I sound kind of delirious because I'm kind of tired from making this video, and plus there's a lot of crap going on in my house right now. But anyway, I'm upset. I'm salty. Link and Ganondorf then have an epic sword fight, which results in Ganondorf's death, which makes his castle crumble for some reason. But Link and Zelda get out alive. It's okay. So now, peace is restored to Hyrule. Wait, what? Oh, there's another boss. We're not done. Okay. So, our friend Ganondorf here has gone under a bit of plastic surgery, although I don't think this is even Ganondorf. I think this is his monster form, Ganon. But everyone in this manga just refers to him as Ganondorf, although I'm pretty sure this thing reappears in a different volume, and then they call it Ganon. But, anyway, kitties, this is our new playmate, Ganon. He's made purely out of pork and evil. He exists because the Triforce of Power, which is imbued in Ganondorf, went a tad bit insane, and it did this, and he enjoys long walks on the beach and murdering the hero of time. So, this fight goes on for like 7 pages or something. It's kind of ridiculous, but basically, Link powers up his sword and then stabs Ganon in the face, and then Zelda summons the power of the Sages of Time, and then they lock Ganon in an alternate dimension forever. Probably not, though, because this video game franchise has been going on for, like, what, 30 years now. So, apparently, also, Zelda is now the 7th Sage of Time, although they never stated that there was a 7th one. But anyway, her duty is to just send Link back to the past and close the door to the Temple of Time, which kind of sucks for Link and Zelda, because they kind of have a pseudo-romantic thing going on, but, I mean, hey, they'll grow up, they won't be kids anymore, and then, like, maybe. Who knows? And then Zelda sadly plays the Ocarina of Time and sends Link back to his own time, back to being a 10-year-old boy. And it's kind of sad. So, like, there's a random background character who at one point states that the Great Deku Tree had a baby, and I'm pretty sure this is just to, like, establish that, like, the Kokiri race will have, like, someone who rules over them again. But look at this thing. It looks like a Ditto trying to impersonate a tree. And it is both the weirdest and the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Link and Zelda stare at each other, both knowing full well what just happened in the future. And thus ends Ocarina of Time, Part 2. Except not, because there's like a bunch of side stories here and stuff, but I ain't gonna go over that, because ain't nobody got time for that. So while it's not technically over, thus ends my review of, well, this isn't really a review, it's just kind of me going through this and talking. But anyway, it's done. It's Ocarina of Time Part 2. It's done. Abby, next up is Majora's Mask, and I will see you on Monday.